In this video, we'll be integrating sine of x times cosine of x times the square root of 1 minus sine to the fourth x dx. First, I'm going to let u equal sine of x, and so du is cosine of x dx. So that leaves me with u times the square root of 1 minus u to the fourth du. And from here, I can break up u to the fourth as u squared squared. So I can make another substitution and let v equal u squared. So dv is 2u du. Now, u du will just be dv over 2, and I have the 1/2 factored out. And then 1 minus u squared squared becomes 1 minus v squared. Now I'm going to make a trig substitution. I'm going to let v equal sine theta. So dv will equal cosine theta d theta. So replace the v with the sine, and then dv with cosine theta d theta. Now 1 minus sine squared is just cosine squared. So I'll be taking the square root of cosine squared, which is just cosine. And so cosine times cosine is going to give me cosine squared. Now I'm going to rewrite this in terms of 1 plus cosine 2 theta over 2. So this is just a trig identity. And I can factor out the 1/2, so that'll be 1/4 outside. And then integral 1 plus cosine 2 theta d theta. I can integrate the 1 to be theta. Cosine 2 theta becomes 1/2 sine 2 theta. And then plus a constant c. Now I'm going to be going backwards. So we made a couple substitutions. So we first started with x, then went to u, then v, then theta. So we said recently that v is equal to sine theta. So if I were to draw a triangle, we'll call this angle theta. Sine of theta is v. Think of this as v over 1. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. Pythagorean theorem says this is 1 minus v squared. Okay. So keep that in mind. But first, let's look at sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cosine theta. The 2 is going to cancel out with the 1/2. Okay. Now, I know sine theta is v because that's what we said originally was a substitution. Cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's square root 1 minus v squared. Theta, well, if v is equal to sine theta, inverse sine v will equal theta. Okay. So that's what we're going to put here. And now we have everything in terms of v. So we had said that v is equal to u squared. So replace v with u squared. And then we said u is equal to sine of x. That was our first substitution. So replace u with sine of x. And this is our final answer.